everybody, it is me again, back once again on the Twitch, on the YouTube and the Steam. It is I, Major Herbhead. There you go. First time I've actually said my name in the introduction there, or my alias. Major Herbhead. Right, so yes, we are here because I'm doing a brand spanking new guide, an in-depth brand spanking new guide on how to build and how to successfully build and run a coaster that has more than one train. I do already have a guide on this, but it's a bit broken into parts at the moment and it's not as good as it could be. So here I am doing this one. This is, as I say, a brand new guide to replace my old 2, condense them down into 1, and this will be an in-depth look at actually how to, as I say, successfully build and run a multi-train coaster. Now I know there are a lot of people having issues with this. The common thing seems to be is a lot of people are thinking, right, this is how it was on this game, so this is how it's going to be on that game, and oh, I remember it being like this, so that's how it's going to be on this one. Or it's not. It's a new game. It's not like something that you've played before. New physics, new dynamics. It does work different, but as I say, it's so simple. Really is. I mean, I can run 1 train, 2, 3, 4. I've even had a coaster running 8 trains. Literally, within reason, you can run as many as you want. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could fill the whole park with 1 ride and have like 20-30 trains on it. No point. There's just no point. But the fact is, it's doable. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is expanding the park a little bit. We'll buy these 3 tiles at the bottom. Oh yeah, we'll go for the 6 at the bottom. We won't need the whole 9. That's for sure. We don't need that much space to do this. Now, I'll point this out at the beginning, and I will keep reiterating these points and these facts as we go through. You'll hear me say timing a lot, and timing is such a key integral part of successfully running a coaster with more than 1 train. Now I can do it with any hyper, wooden, stand-up, dive, floorless, flying, inverted, accelerator, winged or spinning coaster. I've already got some saved in here, but for the purpose of this demonstration and this guide, obviously I am going to be building these from scratch. But I've got a dive one right there, multi-coaster, floorless multi-coaster, flying multi-coaster. As you can see, I have already gone through and done quite a few of these. I've got another inverted multi-coaster somewhere, I've got a hyper one, I've got a wooden one somewhere as well. There you go, there's an inverted one, there's the spinning one, there's the stand-up one, another stand-up one. Oh well, there's my wooden one. But as I say, let's dive into it then. and we'll start with the hypercoaster. So let's get to it then. But right, I'll point 3 key notes out now, straight away. First one won't make any sense, too much sense at the moment, but one of the things to note with this is there's 3 key points. One, I've already mentioned, timing. Timing, and you'll hear me say that throughout this whole tutorial, guide, how to, whatever you want to call it. You will hear me say timing a lot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 different ones to start with. I'm going to do a coaster where the second car, or second train, I should rephrase it to, is going to be at the start of the ride. So the second train, it's because I'm fucking English. The second train is going to be there, with obviously the first one in the station. Well, it'll be the second one there with the first one running round, come back into the station, and then that one will go, and then I'll do another one where instead of the second train being here, we'll have it at the end of the ride. Right, so first things first then is I'll get this built. I'll just do something nice and simple. And so I'm not here to show off my skills of building exciting rides. I'm here right now just as a show to people how easy it actually is to build a coaster that runs more than one train. I've never had a problem with this. I've been able to do this since I've had the game. You know, it's one of them. Everybody's different, I suppose. So first thing we do, we come up. We're going to stop the train there. And it's going to come down. So just something nice and simple. Keep this straight. If I'll bring it back up, then no, you tart it. I'll bring it back up to 125. Go back down to 20. Let's get it straight. Go down to 25. And I said 20, but 25. Bring it out a bit more. Again, keep it straight. That's it. Come all the way back around. Come off at 90. And then we can do what we want here, really. It's just a demonstration, so let's make it nice and simple. As I say, you can put whatever you want in there, you know, as you build your ride, it's completely up to you. But for the purpose of this demonstration, this will do me just fine. Auto complete you. Right then, so as I say, it's only basic. You can fill these bits in however you please. This is where I'll start and point. There's probably more than 3, but for me, there's 3 main points to this. Let me just close the car. Get rid of these people. We don't need it open. Fuck off. So, first thing I'm going to be doing then is I'll go through one step at a time. So first thing I'll do now is just make sure the track's all where I want it to be. So I'll stick one in the middle of there, just to add a bit of banking on there. 45, please. There we go. And the same on this one. So they're not. Nah, we'll have the speed scrubbed off by then. Mechanisms then. Obviously a chain lift to bring it up to the top. Whatever speed you want, but I always turn it up to maximum. That's just my preference. Right then, 3 key points. I'm going to keep saying these, I'm going to keep reiterating them. If it gets on your tits or starts getting on your nerves, I do keep saying them. I apologise, but you must stress these things, because these points that I'm going to keep reiterating throughout the video are why a lot of people are failing to successfully build a multi-train coaster. Right then, as I say, timing. Not going to be a big issue yet, because we're only running 2 trains at the moment, but as you start to run 3, 4 or more, timing does become a big issue. Right, next one is your brake system. Hold on, turn that back up to 20. Select the right part of track first. There we go. Your brake system, right, must, this section here, right here, between these 2 nodes, yes, that one right there. Now I always turn this up to 10. It's up to you, but you got to make sure there's enough. You'll see as I build the next one, it'll become more poignant as to how things actually work on here. But as I say, key note then, that part there, this brake system must, and I repeat, must be longer in length than your train. Right? If your train, the total length of this is too long for that, if that train is longer than this piece, it will not stop. Okay, I guarantee you 100% it will fail. Okay, so if you come along and you put a tiny little section of brake system in there, yeah, that will not stop that train. Don't matter what you do, doesn't matter what you try, it will fail every single time, because that bit of track is longer than this. Right, so that's your first one. So we'll change that back to standard track, and that is all we need. So all I'm going to need to do now is, I might not even need to add brakes to this, but I will. Just because, so I'll plonk some brakes in there just to slow it down a bit. Not, as I say, not that we'll need them. So if I come out of that, back into here, and then what we'll have to do is go to the operations and maintenance. Then it's up to 2 trains. Now what I always do, I always turn the maximum wait time down to 30. Again, this helps with the timing side of things. Not too important yet, but as I say, as you get further on, and especially when you start to build coasters that have got 3, 4 or more trains, as the timing becomes more and more important, it is worth halving that max wait time. So then that's all done, then it's all set. We've gone into here, we've set it to our 2 trains, so we can go back into edit and what literally test. Now hopefully I have built that brake system longer than the train. It's the wooden one that gets me, because the wooden train's massive, it's well long. I'm hoping that that's long enough to suit that. Yeah, plenty. So then that one will stop, then they both go. We'll leave it. I'll leave it to run for a bit just to show. And this is where you can tweak the timing and stuff if you want as well. See how that one's still running around. It is going slowly, I do have to admit it is going slowly, but I did build just a short basic track. I'm only here to demonstrate the multi-character side of things, but that one will pull in now. Yeah, see, this is where, as I say, timing, you just tweak it a bit. So that's the first run. I'm not bothered about the first run, but I will let it go again. And the idea is, by the time that gets to the top, I want that one to have gotten round to the station so they're not sitting up there for ages. This is where your timing comes into it. So that's still going across there. These are just coming to the top and stopping now. So obviously if I wanted to, as I do want to, I will stop that. And what I'll do, if I slow that down to 15, and what I'll do is this bit here, snap a booster there just to get them round a bit quicker, and then we'll try it again, see if I've got the timing any better on this scale. But I like to have them all in sync if I can get them as close to each other as I can, especially as you start to, as I say, run more than two, because you get 3 and 4, things like that. Like so they all pull up to the brake system at the same time, and then they all release at once. But again, timing, it's practice. A lot of it is, it's just practice. So we'll let this go around. Yeah, that's a bit better this time, look. Now, is that going to stop? No, it's not going to stop. I need more brakes. I need more braking power. Oh yeah, I forgot that I turned it down, didn't I? There we go. So turn it back up. This is why we test. Let's try it again. Of course, because I added the booster and I forgot to turn the brakes up. Dolly. What I'll actually do while that one runs is, while I come out here, and we'll get the next one on the go, get you ready. It's around there somewhere, yeah, that'll do. Get rid of you, because I don't want to build it yet. So, just showing this one, so I'll pan the camera out a bit. Yeah, the timing looks a bit better. Yes, that's better. Dooby-dooby-doo. Right then, so there you are. There's that one. Still think I need to pump these brakes up a bit there. Might need to put these brakes up a little bit. Let it run again, let's find out. Nah, it's fine. Perfect, there we go. One running 2 train coaster with the stop at the beginning. So, leave that one running. And what we'll do, or shall I just reuse this? I'll just reuse that. Reuse the same one, make it easy. So there you go. That is, and I could leave it running for ages, but as you can see there's no point. That is a successfully running 2 train coaster with a train at the beginning. So let's edit it. And where are we? Track, there we go. So this time we want, so I want to switch it round and I want that at the end here instead. Right, so change you to standard track. We don't want you there anymore. I'll put a booster there instead. Tell you what we'll do. Again, you can do anything in the interim along here. You do whatever you want. Put some inversions in, some loops, or whatever. You go crazy. Go crazy. Right, now this is where the next part will be coming in. This is where I think it's point number 3. Point number 1, I'll keep going on about timing. Point 2, I've already said, and I will reiterate, the train must be longer in the brake system must be longer in length than the train itself. And point number 3 is coming into effect right now, because we want the train, the second train of this one, to be at the end of the track, not the beginning of the track. This is where it gets a little bit more complicated, and this is where I think a lot of people are getting stuck. Doing that one is easy, and I think most people, if not everybody, should be able to do that one. If you were failing, that was probably the reason why, because your train was too long for the track. But this part is where it gets to be a little bit more difficult. Right, now this bit I'm going to have to change that to standard track. Now what a lot of people are doing is putting the brake system there. It will not work. It won't work, and it'll fail, as you know from your own experience, if you have in fact put a brake system right at the very end of the track. The trains will both go together and it'll just fail and not work, and they'll just complain that it's broken when it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. To me, whether it is or isn't how it's supposed to be, it makes sense how it is, because as it is like that, I'll test it. As it is like this first train here has left the station, going to go around, and then you've got your second one right there, ready and waiting. Now the problem is, and the problem people are going to be getting, is by the time this has come off there to come into the station, this one hasn't left. That's your problem. That's where the problem lies, and that's where issues are arising. That train must have left the station, gone past that point off here, Alright, the boosters. And I'll carry on in a second pointing that fact out. Let me slow this down a bit. Turn that up. Let's get it testing again. Right then, yeah. So as I was saying, it's good I've done that, because this train, see how that one appeared when that one got to the end. Right now, that same scenario has to happen when the second train is coming into the station. This one must get to at least this point of exiting there. If any of that train is still in this station, when the second one pulls in, it'll fail. Which it should do now. Oh, there we go, it's coming. I've got enough brakes. Yeah, I've got enough brakes. That's alright then. So, if we watch this now, in theory, this should fail. It should follow it straight through and out. Just like that, look. Now, how did I know that was going to do that? Probably because that brake system's in the wrong place. That's why. And that is what y'all are experiencing. Am I correct? Am I right? Or am I wrong? So, stop. Because that's a fail. It's a fail. It's not going to work. As I said, that train did not leave the station before the second one. Well, the second one did not leave the station before the first one arrived. Right, so standard track history, mechanisms, standard track. And what I'm going to do is the brake system is going to go there. Now you can move it a bit closer, but timing. As I said, a word you'll hear me use a lot during this guide, timing. Now, that alone is not enough to slow this down. That I know, because we've seen that the first time around where it flew straight through and past it. So what we'll have to do is add some friction brakes just before it to slow it down enough to actually be able to stop. If we have that there, again making sure the brake system is longer than the train, which that most certainly is. And then this is where we stress about the timing again. Is this piece here, is it going to take long enough? Is that going to give this one enough time to leave the station before that one comes back in? Only one way to find out, and that is to test it and try it. Go down and away it goes, that's it. Around you go. And back on us. With the first patch of brakes to slow it down ready for the brake system. Hopefully that's strong enough. Just about. That stops. About to go. Now have I given it enough time to get out the station? If I have, which I have, it will pass. And there you go. That is how you do one with the train at the end of the ride. Now, as I say, and I'll keep saying it, timing. It is all about timing. had to give that one enough time to get out the station before the second one arrives. Must remember that timing. So that, as it stands, I do believe is yeah, working as it should. As I say, these bits you fill in as you wish, you know. Have a loop here or a twist along there, as long as you remember that you have to slow it down enough for these brake systems. Yes, they have their own brakes built in, blah de blah de blah, but if you're going too fast, you're not going to stop. So you have to put brakes before it, which I've had to do on this, because it's just coming too fast. So we've got a brake system, brake force, normal friction brakes to slow it down before it gets to the brake system, and then away it goes. So I'll leave this to go around a couple of times just to show you that it does actually work successfully and will run successfully if I was to leave it, which I'm not, because I'm going to be doing the 3 coaster one now, which is nice and easy actually, very very nice and easy from where I am. So as I say, these rules of thumb as that I use, which is making sure the brake system is long enough for the train, make sure it's going slow enough when it gets to the brake system, and obviously timing to give it enough time to leave the station before the next one arrives, which is just like that. Let it pass again. There we go. So I'll leave this one to run around. That's not bad actually, you know. 5.1 as a base excitement, and there's no scenery objects. Wow. If I was to plant a few scenery objects in there, that would go up to 7. Get that up to 7. And look how basic it is. This will be another guide that I'll be doing as well. How to on excitement. Well, that one stops. Let valve leave. This one's got enough time. Only just though. Only just enough time to leave the station before that one gets there. But that just is enough. Yeah, why not? Have a quick ride. Long straight. As I say, you can put loops, inversions, twist the track, do what you want along there. You know, you design your track your way. I'm just doing this just to demonstrate and show you all how to actually successfully do this. Okay, so we've had that ride running. We've changed our mind now. We want another train on there. We want to add a third one. Right, now stop view then. Because I'm using the same sort of template as I have done, I haven't changed this yet. What I'll do is simply put this back, change this back to a brake system. When it's ready, I'll select it first. That'd be an idea, wouldn't it? Again, I always turn them up to 10 just to make sure. If I ever want to adjust timing and stuff, I do turn them down every now and again, but I do like to have them at maximum, and I'll leave that as 15. Anything I will have to do is if I put a booster, I'll get rid of that one actually, and I'll slap a booster down here, else it's going to end up going too slowly I don't want it to do. 5. So we've got our brake system there still. I've added this one back in. Before we test it, I'm back into operations and maintenance and up it to our 3 trains. And then I can go back into edit and then test. And then this, it should just work straight away, no problem. Because all I've done is added that one in over there, and all I did was change that to a booster, and now I've put it back to the brake system. So here we go then, 3 trains. So again, reiterating the points as I go. Brake system must be longer than the train, which both of them most definitely are. I could shorten them a little bit, but for demonstration purposes, there's no need. Absolutely no need. There we go, that one comes around. Have I slowed it down enough? Just slowing down enough. There's our 3rd one waiting. There they all go. Should still have enough time. Again, that one has now left the station, and that one comes in. So again, I'll point that out. That must have left the station. Must have left the station before this one arrives. So if this one pulls into the station, as you saw earlier, it just won't work. It'll fail. That one will follow it through, and they'll both run at the same time, and it will be chaos. Poify. We'll leave it to run round for a bit. Again, here it comes back around. I could do with putting a bit more brake on there to slow it down a bit more before it gets to here, because that is, the timing's a little bit off. Again, that word again, timing. But yeah, well, there you go. And there's three trains successfully running around the track, and they will do that for as long as I leave it. I'm quite pleased with that. 5.1 excitement with now scenery objects. That's quite good, that. But now, okay, so we change our mind again. We've done the one coaster at the beginning, that worked. We've done the coaster at the end, so yeah, we're good with that. So now we thought, oh okay, we want 3, so we've added that one back in there and that one there, and now we decide, I want to add another one into this. I want another one. But I don't want another one at the end. If I wanted to, I could. The only thing you'd have to make sure, again, if you want to stack coasters, don't have 2 brake systems next to each other. The same rule of thumb applies to doing the timing. Again, that precious word, timing. The way that you have to wait for the train to leave the station before the next one arrives, that exact same rule of thumb applies to the brake systems. Okay, so if you've got another one, say back here, if I was to change that to a brake system, it'd fail because you've got 2 right next to each other. and it's the same scenario as I got with the station, because the previous train has not gone past the nodes or the tracks, the checkpoint, whatever you want to call it. Both trains will follow each other and they will run at the same time, and it will flop and fail. So again, it's that timing, all about getting that timing right. We will get there in a moment, but for now, what I'm going to do is I've decided I want to add another one, but I want to add it over here. So what I'll do is, it'll be a case of turning that to a chain, I do believe. I'm going to have to add a node in around there somewhere. And another one where? There. And then hopefully that bit of track is long enough. I'm hoping that's going to be a long enough brake system. Might be, in fact, I'll make that a little bit, I'm going to fill it in, I'm going to make it a little bit longer. So we'll put that one there, and I'll delete that one, and then hopefully, let's give me an extra one. Let's put it in. There we go. Oh, top. Oh, sods, yeah, I'll leave it like that. And then what I want to do is, just for the sheer hell of it, to raise you back up then. Maybe up to 100 feet. Do the same to this side, bring this one up to 100 feet so it's nice and level. I may actually need some brakes up here, not a chain. Because I've just remembered I've got the booster at the bottom of here, so that'll need slowing down. That will need slowing down before it gets to here. And just to keep it going, 2 or 2.5. Tried 2.5 to begin with. Right then, so again, back into here, back into our operations and maintenance, turn it up. 4 trains we're at now, so now we can go back into edit, and then back to the test and see what happens. So I'm not too sure. I have done it long enough, haven't I? Yeah. Yes, it is long enough. The question is, have I slowed it down enough? Let's get it all in view. So, as we watch this go round, then, so 4 trains we should see running around here. So again, reiterating the points as I go. Brake system is longer than the train in all 3 sections. Have I slowed it down enough? Again, it's got to be going slow enough to actually stop. And this is where I like to get the timing right. Hopefully I have. That one should get there at the same time as this one. That's what I want. That's the aim for me. Whenever I do a multi-coaster with 3 or more off. That's it. That's good. Now, have I done the same with this one? Again, it's a personal thing. It hasn't got to be. You can keep them waiting for as long as you want at a point, but I like to get them all as close as I can to each other. So I'll try to get them all running in sync. That one gets there. But this is only the setup run anyway. And there you go. We've got a big fat pass. and it still scores 5.1 base excitement as well. That's awesome. Now scenery objects and 5.1. That's really good. And there you go. There is 4 trains successfully running round a track. Easy peasy, yeah. This is why I say I've never had a problem building multi-coasters. Never had a problem. Let's pause that actually. And if I see, I want to get rid of them things down there. There you go. I'll take a snapshot there for a second. Right, I'll put my free camera. There we go. Gets rid of all the overlays. Give me a shot of that. Back to normal camera. Back to edit, yeah. Keep it running for a few seconds. Just to say, look, there you go. There is 4 trains running round a track. And that will not fail, that will continue to run successfully, as I say, for as long as I want it to. I could add more coasters in, I could take one back out, you know. But what I will do is, I might as well bring this up to the hour with this guide. I'm nearly up to 50 minutes now, so if I do one more thing, because I know it's one base that I haven't covered yet, which is stacking the trains, because at the moment they're all at separate points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a 5th. I'm going to add a 5th train to this track, which means I will have to extend it a little bit. I will have to make it longer because it's just too small to run 5. 4 is this track's peak for this size track. 5's just not feasible. So as I say, I am going to have to make it longer. So I'm going to need to select track. That's going to have to be deleted, turn you back to a standard track, and then make it longer. Make sure it's straight still. That should be enough. Got one more just in case. Bring it round to 270. If it's around, try and get this straight. So I am like that. I do like to. Looks to be around there, doesn't it? Can I get? Give me 270 there. Keep on doing back. Keep on doing back. A little bit more. There we go. Click. Oh, yay! That's not bad. Right, so we've made it longer to accommodate our 5th train on here. So mechanisms, and I'll put this centre one back in here. So we're gonna need it. And what I'll do is I'll even put another one. Tell you what, I'm gonna go LTT with this. So we need a brake system in there. Might as well have kept it. And then the brake system. Was it friction brakes there? Yeah, that's it. Brake system in there. it. As I say, you don't have to crank it all the way up, but I like to make sure that it actually stops. And then, is it going to give it enough time, or have I got to bring it round here? I don't know. Let's try it, because I'm going to go Rctw, as I say, and I'm going to put another one in here, because I'm just going to take the piece now. How many am I running? 6. There you go. 6 trains on a little track like this. But as I say, I will have to make adjustments to these bits to get the timing right, because, yeah, again, that word timing, cannot stress that word enough. Back on to test, because as I say, the rule of thumb that applies to getting the train out the station before the next one arrives applies to the brake systems. This train has got to have left that brake system before that one gets into it, else they'll both carry on and they'll both run together and it will just fuck up. So again, it's testing timing. Just to say it again, timing. So yeah, this is going to come to an hour. So yeah, I've got a good hour guide. This shows you all exactly what is necessary. At least to get 4 running. You know, after that, as you can see, making the track bigger, and this is where your timing issues come into it more. And how big is that brake system? So if I go to the bird's eye, yeah, see, I can see all of them from there. So we've got the one stopping at the first, the second, the third. They all go. Yeah, see, that could do with a chain in there. Pull that along quicker. So that's just going way too slowly. That really is just going way too slowly. So what I'll end up doing is I'll end up shortening this brake system. Wow, it can come all the way back to that pylon. That one's left now and they're coming round. That can be well shortened and I can have a chain in there, or I could bring them closer together, as long as this one's got enough time and that one's got enough time to leave before the next one arrives. It'll work. So I could have actually got away with making it a little bit smaller. Didn't need to be quite this big. Pass. Oh my god, it's gone up to 5.2 as well. I've made it more exciting. 5.3 according to that. So it's actually made it more exciting. And there you go. That's it. 55 minutes, that's not too bad. Showed you all, pretty much all the different styles of, all the different ways of building multi-coaster tracks. multi-coaster tracks. I'll keep it worded like that. As you can see, it all works as long as you. I mean, to me, all this just makes sense. So this is why I never had an issue with it, never had a problem with it, and why to me it's always ran as it should. But now, obviously, coming off the back of other coaster games, they all work different. You know, they all have different features and different physics and different checkpoints, as I call them, or some people call them nodes. Sometimes I call them information points as well. But yeah, I will reiterate then again, just to make sure that everybody is understanding and in knowledge of all the overlays there. So I'll go through it as it goes around, as they come into it. First point, always make sure your brake system is longer in length than your train for your coaster. If it is shorter, it will fail, which again makes sense. You can't have tiny piddly brakes to stop a huge massive train. Right, this part, if you have got speed behind you, you will need to slow it down before you get to the brake system. If it's going too fast, it'll shoot straight through, just exactly the same as it would if you were going too fast into your station. It'll shoot straight through. So you have to slow it down before it gets there, because if it's going too fast, as I say, it'll go straight through. Which I've had to do again for this one here. Brakes, friction brakes before it, slow it down before it gets there, so it doesn't shoot straight past it. Makes sense. Right, timing we're on to now. Giving these enough time to get from one braking system point to the next before the other one clears. So we've got to give that time now. We know it works. So I could shorten all these down, but as I say, the same rule of thumb applies to the station, the brake systems, exactly the same thing. That train, whichever one you're looking at, must have left that braking system before the next one arrives, else it'll fail. So again, it's that timing, getting that timing right. I did demonstrate it earlier, where if say for example, because we know this is working, I've got a couple of minutes left, so we know this is successful, so I'll come along, and what I'll do is, oh no, it's not fast enough, what I'm going to do, that doesn't work right for me, it should be able to, well, whatever, if I stick that in there, and stick that in there, to try and get it to the braking points faster, I'll stick one in here, so that one's going slowly as well, so I'm one of these people that thinks it should go faster. We'll test it. Now this time, in theory, it should fail. If it passes, I'll be surprised. But them trains should catch each other up and start running together as one. And basically, yeah, failing. So this end of the video, last little bit then, I'm going to show you the fail basically. just to reiterate the fact that if the next train gets to a braking system point before the previous one has left, they will both run at the same time together on the same piece of track, and in some cases can actually overtake each other. I've seen that one happen where the previous train has come along and actually overtaken the one that was there waiting because it just got there too fast. Again, to me it just makes sense. So yeah, we are creeping a little bit over the hour, but I do want to show you a fail. Just as I say, just to reiterate the fact of getting the timing right more than anything. That charges into there with that boost now, doesn't it? I'm hoping then it will get there before the other one's left. Else it'll still pass and it won't fail. So that's any part left. I have already showed it once, but I just want to reiterate. Nah, it's not gonna. Dang it. Oh no, yeah, there's still plenty of time for them to clear the breakers. Ah, there you go, look. Station one, shot straight through, look. There you go, that's what happens. It's just failed. And do you know why that was? Because the one at the station didn't have time to leave before this one got there. And there you go, look, there's your fail. That's what I wanted to show you. Right at the end was the fail. Again, just to reiterate that point of timing. Get the timing wrong, won't work, won't work. So I'll put it back to a success, let it run once, and then say thank you for watching. We'll get rid of these boosters. I could probably keep them other ones, you know, but for the sake of this, we'll return it back to its original state, its original working configuration. Back onto the test, and then I'll leave this one to run around and then say thank you for watching and I hope you've learned something. And while I do, actually, while we do wait for this, I am going to add, so it's not staying, it is going, but I know it's scoring a 5.1 on the excitement so far, so I'm wondering. Ooh, went up a bit, I think, actually. Hey! Goody goody gumdrops. Go on now. I ain't bothered what I add as long as it's just some shit. Want to see what the excitement comes back at. It's got a big circle of influence, so I've got plenty of space to. And look, today I'm going Rctw, I'm just taking the piss. I know nobody's actually going to put this many giant. Well, it's might be good. Not that I know of that anybody's put this many giant trees. I'll come back into it. God, I can't even see that one now. There we go. Okay, so it is running, as we say, 6 trains this one. I've just showed you the fail, just to reiterate timing. returned it to its original state just to re-show the pass. And because I want to see what excitement it scores with a bit of scenery around it. Right, so we've got one more train to come out and go around yet. I don't think that's too bad with the timing. I think it's just that one getting there a bit too early. Oh no. That one's still stopping. So yeah, if anything, if I was to keep it and continue the park, I'd make that one shorter. Still all these other trains wait on that one, getting to the end. And there you go. And there it is, folks. 5.3 base excitement as well. So what does it score with the rest of the scenery? 7.3. Now give it its full 2 points for scenery. So there. Well, how about that then? That is a high excitement multi-coaster ride which people will happily pay for and go around and around and around. And rather than only able to fit, I wonder how many, fucking check. Come out to you. Sure. See, which one's it in? That one. No. That one. So 36 peeps per train, and I've got 6 trains. You do the math. You know, I'm fitting well over 150 people on that ride every time. That's close to 200, isn't it, I think? Or over 200. Plenty of money, plenty of profit. There you go. Right, so with that, I will say thank you all for watching, and hope you've learnt something. And obviously to all those that did enjoy or did like or did learn something, if there are any comments or anything else, don't forget to rate, subscribe, follow, whichever one you're on. But again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next stream or dive. Bye bye now, peace out.